Hi everyone, welcome back to Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections. Welcome to a brand new reading. We're looking at the full moon in Gemini. Gemini is the energy of the twins, and so I thought we'd just do a check-in and see what is going on with the energy right now. I don't really pay attention to the lunar cycles anymore. Well, by that I mean I'm not focused on doing readings for specific lunar cycles unless I'm feeling the energy to do that. I feel like the energy is pretty calm right now. I feel like we're basically where we have been. I do feel like there's going to be a shift after the full moon. And so I'm actually hearing communication might be coming in for some of you. This could either be somebody that you know from the past, or this could be somebody new, but I'm hearing the word communication. I usually do readings after the cosmic events, just kind of to see how the energy is shifting or has shifted, because right now it doesn't feel like the energy has shifted. It feels like it's where we were with the last Sacred Union energy update and the Ascension relationship energy update, by which I mean still feels like that cosmic egg energy for the Divine Feminine is holding space in that Merkaba that we talked about for the 1111 portal. And for the Divine Masculines, it feels like they're continuing to rise in their consciousness, their awakening. I don't like the word awakening. It just really rise in their and expand in their consciousness, especially when it comes to connection to the Divine Feminine. I'm going to put those links in the description box. So if you guys missed one of the past readings, I encourage you to check them out. All readings are timeless. And we go really deep with our readings and our messages, so there might be something there that will help you along with your journey as well. When I do these energy check-ins, even though they're energy updates and check-ins, they're for you as well. So take it as it resonates for your inner masculine. Take it as it resonates for your own soul growth journey, as much as it is about holding that space and compassion for your masculine or for your feminine, depending who you're listening for, to understand what they're going through, to have more compassion and to have more love for their journey and more patience and understanding for their journey. Or you can take this for the global collective, because the feminine masculine as a global collective, the energy is shifting and changing as a whole. So make sure that you're, listening to these readings on a whole for all. But let's just kind of see. I just got drawn to doing a reading tonight for the full moon in Gemini. So before I have to log in for the Patreon live stream, I just wanted to do a quick check-in and see what's going on. Immediately we have the card Patience, and I'm just getting this energy of holding space. So we're going to do a quick check-in today, and I do feel like there's going to be a shift. I feel the shift coming, maybe on the heels of this full moon in Gemini, but I feel like right now, again, it just feels kind of like holding the line, towing the line, that kind of thing. It just feels like just kind of holding the space for the change and the shift that is occurring. Now, what I mean by this is that there's always growth, there's always expansion, and there's always energetic shifts that are happening. But a lot of what is experienced is behind the scenes. So when I feel that there's something that's going to be shifting, transforming, moving, it really feels like movement. And they're reminding me that Sagittarius season, it really does feel like movement. I feel like that's coming in after this full moon. And again, I feel like a lot of it has to do with connection and communication. For some, again, it's going to be counterparts that are coming back around and communicating in some way. And I'm hearing a laying down of the arms. So if there were hostilities, if there was defensiveness, if there was guardedness within the connection, I feel like that's part of what's crumbling. I feel like that's part of what has been healing over the last few weeks, the last few months, part of this shift. So the communication feels like it might be softer. I'm also getting tiptoe energy. So it might be just kind of putting testing feelers, that kind of thing, maybe with like a hello or an unblocking or a quick message or a phone call or something like that. It feels small, but I feel like it's a big step. It feels like a big step. And I feel like especially from the Divine Masculine. Divine Feminines, this could be you as well. Maybe not in connection, but this could be you as well, where you are opening up yourself again. And maybe just, if this is somebody new that's coming in, putting in feelers as far as, or testing the waters as far as where am I in my journey? Am I able to open up to new connection? Am I able to open up to love? Am I able to receive love? Am I able to shift patterns, etc.? Like, you might be testing the waters there as well. If there is somebody new, you know, relationships are our greatest catalyst for growth because they are our most intimate connections, and they ask us to be really intimate with ourselves first. And so with relationships, they're always going to reflect back to you yourself. They're always going to reflect back to you your growth. And I feel like there are many who are at a place in your journey, your growth journey, where you are seeing that reflection in partners. That could be counterpart partners, as in, people who are really matching that frequency. And that could be people who are just kind of showing up. I experienced that last year. There were people who were showing up to show you more of that contrast, showing you more of what you do want, even if that person might not be for you, more of what you do want in connection or do want in relationship. Effort, communication, consistency, directness, authenticity, integrity, those qualities, especially as a divine feminine, those qualities that you really want in a masculine counterpart. And if you're a masculine watching this, then take it as it resonates for you, reverse it. The qualities that you really want in a feminine partner. And you have to nurture that relationship with each other. And especially if you're a masculine, the more that the feminine feels like she can feel safe and secure to surrender to that energy, the more she's going to open up in her feminine energy, her softness, her openness. She is going to be just this feminine essence. And I'm getting a message, almost like a clarity message of feminine energy does not mean compliant. Feminine energy can be that wild energy as well, but harnessed within the container of the masculine presence, it is tempered. And so she's able to open up to her full self-expression that can be kind of wild and sometimes even chaotic, but in a place that the energy is tempered. And to be able to openly express and be vulnerable with oneself, that's where she lives in her magic, her creativity, her self-expression, her vulnerability, and she demands that of the masculine as well. Not demanding as in control, but the feminine energy naturally needs that and requires that from the masculine in order for her to be fully who she is. And you experience that within yourself as well. And that's what the healing journey has taught us. That's what the ascension journey has taught us, to not look outside of yourself for that in a partner, but to find that first and foremost within yourself. I'm speaking mostly to the divine feminines here, to find that first and foremost within yourself and anchor in that union between your own inner masculine and your own inner feminine, so you can feel safe and secure to express yourself, to open up, to be vulnerable, to live in that creative magic that you are and in that divinity. And then you naturally want that from your counterpart. You naturally want that from your partner. So I do feel like there's movement in some way. I do feel like there is communication. You might be testing the waters with each other. And I'm just getting this energy of have patience with each other. We've been channeling from the get-go that when separation is ending, you might go back and forth a little bit. It might not be, it's a process. It's always been a process. That sacred union in an external relationship, because you have that external, or that internal union, I should say. You've always been in union, but bringing that down to the 3D in a physical form and a connection has its own challenges and is something very different and something very new. And doing so in a conscious and healthy way, relating to each other, communicating with each other, loving each other in a healthy, conscious way is a new template that we are bringing to this earth. Because there are so many instances where, with regards to relationship and with regards to connection with others, not just romantic relationships, but it's come from a place of codependency, come from a place of conditions, come from a place of unconsciousness or of wounding. And through your journey, through your ascension journey that you were catalyzed to with a partner, that's why I call it the sacred union path of ascension, is you've been learning how to open up and and heal all of that to create a new template for conscious and healthy relationships. And again, relationships are the greatest catalyst for your own growth. And the relationship itself is a container for that intimacy and for that closeness. And anywhere where you feel fear around vulnerability, fear around expressing yourself, or fear around closeness, your partnership is a place, or hopefully is a place, especially for those who are counterparts, is a place where you can heal that and grow together, if it is a healthy and conscious connection that you have, by which I mean you're clearing toxicity, you're ushering in forgiveness, and you are no longer abandoning yourself or abandoning the other, or rejecting yourself or rejecting the other, etc., because the other is you. It's just a reflection of you. There is no other, so to speak. And so that being said, I feel like we've been channeling for a couple of years now that when you come back around to each other, no matter how short or how long their separation periods, and I say separation because separation is the illusion, right? But if you were in physical no contact, if you were in physical separation from your counterpart, no matter how long or how short those periods of time are, you have to get to know each other again. You're not the same person that you were even a day ago. You're not the same person that you were a few weeks ago, a few months ago, a year ago. You're not the same person. You've grown. Your counterpart has grown. And so you have to make allowance for that. And the best relationships are ones in which you are allowing each other to grow and growing together. And if you're not growing together with the purpose of nurturing your relationship together, both of you putting in the effort for the connection and for the relationship and making the relationship itself a priority, not neglecting yourself, not negating yourself, not abandoning yourself, but making it a priority as well, then I lost track of what I was saying. Then you have to, going back, you have to make that a relationship a priority as well. You have to nurture that relationship. And if you're not doing that, then there's no growth in the connection. And if there's no growth in the connection itself, then the connection doesn't have a steady foundation. That's what I was trying to say. The connection doesn't have a steady foundation. And I feel like first you have to build that foundation within yourself, and then you have to build that foundation with each other. And if that foundation is not steady enough, by which I mean, again, both of you working, putting in the effort, reciprocating the energy towards each other, communicating, expressing each other, or expressing yourselves to each other, working on your own self-development, not expecting the other person to do that for you, but working on it yourself, and also, allowing for you to receive your support from your partner, because again, that's what a healthy conscious connection does as well. It doesn't ask the partner to do your work for you. You have to do your own inner work, but your partner can and should support that. And so I feel like you're going to have to get to know each other again to build a more stable foundation, because especially if this is somebody from the past, a previous counterpart perhaps, then that foundation wasn't stable, and that's where the separation comes in. So I feel like it's like you're going to have to get to know each other again. Okay, let's see what's going on for the Divine Masculines right now. What's the energy currently for the Divine Masculines? We have change. Ooh, interesting. So I remember when I was saying that I feel like there's things that are shifting behind the scenes, but you might not be seeing anything. I feel like a lot of that is for the Divine Feminines. You might not be seeing anything, but you can feel a whole hell of a lot. You definitely can feel a whole hell of a lot. I have been talking about how for myself, I have absolutely been feeling the energy of my counterpart. I've been dreaming about him. I feel like I am going to run into him at any moment. And it's very strange because of the detachment that I have felt and the moving forward that I have felt. Moving forward, very different from moving on. It's not moving on as in, it's just moving forward. It's just moving forward in this energy of surrender, and it is what it is. And whatever will be, will be. It's a place I've never been before, but it's a place of peace that I've found. And I feel like whether it's my twin, or I don't know what else to call him, that person that has been my catalyst for me, or whether it's somebody else, I feel very open to every possibility. And still at the same time, while I have allowed myself to surrender to that, I feel my twin's energy very, very strongly. And I can't help that. I would like to help that. I would like to not feel him. Just because he's not present in my physical life, we have no relationship anymore. We have essentially no connection except for the one that I feel energetically. But I can feel something shifting, can feel something moving, maybe perhaps even on his end. And I feel like for the Divine Masculines, they are making waves is the phrase that I'm hearing, making waves as far as maybe they're getting a handle on their finances, maybe they're getting new jobs, maybe they are moving, maybe they are shifting in relationships or whatever this is. I feel like it's Sagittarius energy. I feel like there is big change that is coming in. I'm also hearing that it's internal change, and I'm not getting guided to go deep into that because I feel like that's where we kind of were with the previous readings, the previous Ascension relationship energy update and the previous Sacred Union energy update. All that enlightenment energy, all of that seeing things clearly or more clearly, especially seeing their Divine Feminine more clearly, seeing from the energy of love, seeing from the energy of the who the Divine Feminine really is, as far as her loving nature, her nurturing nature, who she's always been, where they might have had a block against that. All that energy we talked about, and it's the same energy here, but I feel like there might be a physical change that is coming, or that is happening within the Divine Masculine's life that I feel like Divine Feminine you're not aware of, but you can definitely feel the energy of the internal shifts and possibly even external shifts. Yeah, this is very interesting. We're going to come back next week with what's on the heels of this energy, but let's get a little bit more. Divine Feminines. Pleasure. You see the energy pouring out from that card, and you see how open she is. You even have the butterflies there. You see how open she is. That Divine Feminine is, I feel, even though you might be going through a bit of an internal process, that's the expansion that I feel is happening within you. For Divine Feminines, I feel like you might be more secluded right now, more in a place of solitude. We've been channeling this for a couple of weeks now, that I feel like there's an internal process that might have you kind of pulling back from socializing. You might still go out, etc., but I feel like there's a draw to kind of, go into your little cubby hideaway and maybe do some art or writing or something creative or nurture yourself, curl up with the fire in the fireplace and hot cocoa and Christmas movies, that kind of thing. I found myself just really wanting to be in my creative energy and writing, and just wanting to curl away and just be in that kind of solitudinal energy. I feel like this is where you are, Divine Feminines, and while that's happening underneath the surface, interesting, there's kind of a mirrored energy here, but it's a very different process. I feel like this change is more external for the Divine Masculines, as there's an internal process going on for them. For you, Divine Feminines, I feel like you're wanting to be more internal. How do I say this? I feel like externally, like in your physical world, you're wanting to spend more time alone, more time with yourself, nurturing those desires, nurturing those pleasures, while internally there's a huge expansion process that's happening. I don't know if I articulated that well, but it's like the opposite effect. It's like you're mirroring this energy, and it's the same, but it's like the opposite from the opposite side. It's a mirror. So I feel like externally you might be more in a place of solitude, not wanting to do a whole lot, not wanting to give a whole lot, but it's because internally there's a huge expansion that's happening within you. So it's very interesting energy that's going on here. And yeah, there's this creation energy. There's something new that is being created here, something new that's being birthed. And we've been channeling that. I feel like from the winter solstice on, you're going to experience that rebirth. And it's just like, it's like the spokes of a sun. It's like you might be in a little bit of a cocoon right now, but it's like the spokes of a sun, where you're going to just burst forth with this new energy, this new light, this new expanded energy, this new love, this new sense of self. For Divine Masculines, I feel like this is really going to anchor into their physical world, their physical presence. Again, this could be a job, this could be finances, but it's all coming from the change within the self. The change within the self is creating the external change. So it's like, it's the same energy. It's the same, but you're just approaching it from two different angles. And that's the yin and the yang. They're just reminding me that is the masculine and the feminine in balance. It's like one's working on the external, one might be working on the internal. And all of it is part of the same piece, part of the same whole. And they've always brought that to me. You're two parts of the same whole. So I'm going to make this a really quick reading. So we're going to leave this here. It's the quickest one probably I've ever done. We're going to leave this here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come back after the full moon in Gemini and just see how things are shifting. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a card of guidance, how to get you through this full moon in Gemini, especially if you are feeling the effects of it or if you are struggling in any way. So let's just get a card of guidance for all of them. For the Divine Feminine, please. No, for the Divine Masculine, please. Let's get a card of guidance for the Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine, hold your vision. What it is that you're working for is gonna come to fruition. I'm getting this energy of self-sabotage. I feel like Divine Masculines, you maybe have had visions before and you've worked towards something, but then all of a sudden you sabotage. It's your old patterns that are playing a part and it pulls you back. This is, for example, maybe you want a new job and you get a new job, but then you sabotage yourself and you don't go to the job. Or maybe this is getting a handle on your finances and you become stable and debt-free, and then all of a sudden you rack up more debt. Or with regards to relationships, maybe it's making a move towards relationship and commitment, and then you sabotage yourself and fear takes over and you pull back or push that connection away. It's like hold your vision and keep working towards that vision and don't get ahead of yourself is what I'm hearing as well, because if you take it step by step, you're going to get leap years ahead versus taking that jump, taking that leap. So have patience for yourself, have compassion for yourself, and go as slowly as you need to. That is going to bring you the results that you want. Because especially if you take it step by step, again, you're not going to get too far ahead of yourself. And when you get too far ahead of yourself, masculine, I feel like that's where your mind and your self-sabotaging tendencies kind of take over. You're breaking free from that pattern is what I'm hearing, but continue to be aware of what the pattern is. Your awareness, I always say, is your superpower. And the more aware you are, the more you can be aware of the pattern and thus make new conscious choices to break that pattern. And I feel like this is a pattern that you're breaking, the pattern of self-sabotage, so that you can actually get what you want. And I'm hearing, recognize that you are deserving and worthy of what you want. And I feel like that's where the self-sabotage comes in, because you don't think it's possible, or you feel a sense of maybe shame about your past or guilt about your past, or you feel like you're going to mess it up. However it resonates for you, I'm getting a number of different messages. Hold your vision and take those small steps so that you are disciplined enough not to fall back into those old patterns, because you're going to get where you want to go if you don't hold yourself back and if you don't leap too far ahead too fast. So have patience for yourself. Make those changes, because those changes, what I'm actually seeing is like a brick mason. Is that what it's called? Laying a brick at a time, right? And being patient, laying a brick at a time. It's like that. It's like you're building a new foundation for yourself. So don't rush the process. Be kind and compassionate to yourself along the process, and most importantly, be aware. Okay. And Divine Feminines, guidance for the Divine Feminines. Guidance for the Divine Feminine. Oop. Guidance for the Divine Feminines. Okay, Divine Feminines, I have you are good enough and confidence is your key to success. So I feel like Divine Feminines, there might be a little bit that you are working through, some energy that you might be clearing, especially when it comes to lack energy. You're building up that confidence, you're building up that belief in yourself, and I feel like that's where some of that pleasure might come down to, that pleasure energy, that nurturing energy. It's like the more that you nurture that connection to yourself, the more you can almost like release outside influences. release what other people think, what other people say, and really bring that connection back to yourself. Really bring that energy back to yourself so that you are anchored into knowing yourself, trusting yourself, believing in yourself. Your confidence is the key to your success, especially with regards to this whole journey. Believe in yourself, trust in yourself, and trust that you are worthy of everything that you desire, of all that you desire. I'm not getting much for you guys. We have to have faith in your dreams as well. Again, a mirrored energy, hold your vision, have faith in your dreams. So I do feel like you guys are kind of like in alignment. And you might actually be feeling a lot of telepathy. That came in a recent reading as well. You might be feeling a lot of telepathy with each other. There might be a lot of back and forth energy between you two. Stay grounded, and make sure that the energy that you are giving out is coming from love. Okay, and let's get a final card for the union. A guidance card for union, please. What do the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine need to know when it comes to their union? Conclusions are within reach. Prosperity lies ahead. And expect powerful change. Yeah, that's the change that we're talking about. And so with the conclusions, that's full moon energy, right? So I do feel like there is a shift that is here, and it's shifting you into kind of almost like a higher octave, a higher level, higher frequency, for that change. And again, it feels like movement, some kind of momentum. Now I feel, especially energy can feel really difficult around the holidays, especially if you are in any kind of separation, or if there's been any kind of loss, or breakup, or any kind of grief that you might be experiencing. I know that I've certainly, experienced that, because life can look very different than what you want it to. But that's where you look towards the love. You hold on to the love that you have, that is present in your life, and you recognize that energy can shift, and energy is constantly shifting, but you have to shift that energy within yourself first. So an energy of gratitude, an energy of thankfulness, and energy of acceptance for what is in your life, and bring in that energy of love for what is here. Because I do feel like there's going to be a shift. And for some, this is going to be, again, communication and movement with regards to perhaps an old connection, or this could be meeting somebody new. But I do feel like it's almost like we are at the starting point for a new chapter, where there is going to be some significant change that we're going to see, I feel, play out over the next couple of months. So I feel like you might feel this energetically first, and then I feel like you'll see the physical form, or the physical manifestation of this, with regards to actual communication, or with regards to meeting somebody. And I do feel like it's going to take a little bit slow, so I don't feel like it's going to be like a big declaration or a big anything. Again, it's going to be like steps. It's going to be like testing the waters, if this is somebody that you've known in the past. If this is a new connection, maybe you're testing the waters with each other too, to kind of see how you feel each other out, that kind of thing. If this is communication with somebody from the past, then it might be just kind of getting to know each other again and taking those first steps. But that, again, is how you build the foundation for a much more stable, much more loving, much more nurturing, and a stronger foundation with each other. Okay? All right. Look at the bottom of the deck. We have believe in the impossible, and a new start is coming. So yeah, nice confirmation here. All right. This is going to be it for tonight. I am sending you all so much love and so much light, and stay tuned. Make sure you are subscribed, and make sure that you are liking and commenting. And if you can help me spread these messages, feel free to share these videos and readings as well. Sending lots of love and lots of